Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bottle Street Blues, our Dishonored mini-series here on Restless Barbarian Gaming. I am the GM, Aloysius. This should be, I'm hoping it'll be a fun time. I'm playing with the biggest group I've run for on the channel so far, so we'll see how this goes, but I'm excited. And before I set the scene and have all the characters introduced, I'll have all my lovely players introduce themselves, starting with Q and moving in a counterclockwise fashion.
Ooh, okay. Hey, everybody. I'm Q. I'm playing James Jimmy Stratton, a young member of the Bottle Street gang. And that's about what I know about what we're getting into.
Okay, I believe that's me next. Counterclockwise, yeah. Hi, I'm T. I will be playing Yelizaveta Arkov, a doctor of ill repute, and also part of the Bottle Street gang.
Oh, next. Hi, I'm Nanette. I'll be playing Vicino Giavolo, also known as Ryder, who is, another member of the Bottle Street gang, hot-headed duelist.
I'm sensing a theme here.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
I am Diver. I am playing Caleb Silver, and he's got a silver tongue, and that's about as much as we know right now.
And I guess I'm bringing up the end with being fun size and playing Catelyn Cat Rothland. A wonderful little courier.
Just everyone's faces. All right. Well, with that, I wrote up a little blurb to set the scene, and then we'll get right into it. The year is 1844, in the month of Wind. Dunwall has slowly begun to heal after the horrors of the Rat Plague of 1837. Gang activity is at an all-time low, but it is far from stamped out. Some gangs have just adapted. One such gang is the Bottle Street Gang. The Bottle Street Gang, led by Slackjaw, or as he's going by these days, Azariah Fillmore, thrived during the Rat Plague, making bootleg elixirs and selling them to those who couldn't afford it otherwise. They always had their hands in many pockets, but losing that bootlegging business was a blow for a time. These days, Slackjaw has turned the gang to more legitimate enterprises that primarily takes the form of an exotic liquor import business. While Azariah has done quite well for himself thus far with his legal business, he still controls the gang. Sometimes business called for more under-the-table and maybe even violent habits. And that is where we will start out. We zoom into the empty office of Slackjaw at the old Dunwall Whiskey Distillery, home base to the Bottle Street Gang. And all of you have been summoned here for yet unknown exact reasons, but all of you slowly filter in one by one. But the first person to enter this space, Q, would you like to introduce your character and tell us what you look like?
Sure. Jimmy is 19. He by profession is a pedicab runner, walker, driver. Not a driver because, but he owns a pedicab. He's a company of one. And then, he's sort of followed in with the Bottle Street Gang as a purveyor of information across the city. He tends to run in the areas where people can't afford the fancy auto mechanicals that drive everyone else around. So he has some connections with people with underground stuff. So he's sort of followed in with the Bottle Street Gang, mostly because he runs a lot in the distillery district. So what he looks like, he's lean, fit. He looks like a runner. That tends to be what he does even in his spare time. And he's wearing, dark pants, sort of a off-color, off-white shirt with a dark jacket over it, and he's got a pair of like driving gloves on that he wears pretty much at all times. Shaggy, chestnut hair, fairly nondescript. Your basic white dude.
Good to know. Good to know. But yes, as I said, you are the first to arrive in this space, and the office is sort of in the back of the old distillery itself, back where all of the various kegs and barrels are sort of stored, and the office is, sort of like a very makeshift sort of place with just a desk, a few posters of various kinds that plastered on the walls in that sort of back corner, and then a tap sort of just like in the back pressed behind the desk where you can help yourself to a little bit of whiskey if you're so inclined.
I'll grab a couple fingers.
Sounds good.
Waiting along. I pretty much just stand there quietly. Jimmy has a permanent scowl.
You're not alone for too long before another individual walks in. Diver, would you like to introduce your character?
Yes, and with the storyteller's permission, I'd like to introduce two characters.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Because one character's not enough for me, so, so anyways, in walks two characters. One is noticeably shorter than the other. She is lean and she's sharp-eyed and, dark-skinned, short hair. She looks like, she looks professional. But not by way of, upper class or anything like that, but just somebody who knows her way around the streets and around the city, and knows the people to get in touch with and contacts and things like that. So somebody who knows what she's doing, knows how to handle herself. In behind her is someone who's considerably bigger than her 5'3" fit frame. He is also a lean and haggard character, but you wouldn't know it because he's got this great coat of furs around him that kind of broadens his shoulders and like it makes him look twice as big as he is around. And he stinks. This guy, he is not bathed in some time. He is not shaved in some time. He is greasy. He smells like whale oil and whiskey and animal hides. He looks like he walked in from some kind of savage region somewhere not too long ago. So he's got a heavier footstep behind her, and they both walk in, and he is completely silent. She will walk up and introduce herself to Jimmy and basically say, "Hi, I'm Cersei, and this is Caleb."
Ma'am?
I assume we're still waiting for everybody.
Hmm.
And she'll pull up, and she will also get like a couple glasses, one for herself and one for, just to start. for the lumbering ox behind her. So yeah.
All right, sounds good. So you are there, and then next up, we actually have two people arrive at about the same time. Nanad and Fun Size, would you two like to introduce your characters? Let's start with Nanad.
Okay, well, you see us a man in his late teens, early 20s, hard to tell, slight build, wearing a coat that's a size or two too big for him. And the other notable thing is that he's got like an old cavalry saber on his hip. It's not improvised stirrup. He's got this wisp, but it looks like he's trying to grow a mustache, but it's not quite getting there. It's like this wispy effect on his brow. And he strides in, looks around, and then kind of puts a nod to Slackjaw and pours himself a whiskey and kind of stands in the corner, basically just eyeing everybody.
All right.
And I do apologize. I think I figured out the noise we were getting. Lawn people at the apartment today.
Love them. Gotta love
Yeah.
them.
That's fine.
But Kat looks about late 20s, early 30s. Looks that could be forgettable. You know, dressed like she could blend in almost anywhere except, you know, high, elite, and gutter rat. But gutter rat is more achievable with a few options. Pale skin, chestnut hair. One of those forgettable faces, and she'll just kind of nod and lean up against a piece of furniture to wait.
All right. And last but not least, Tiara, would you like to introduce your character, as she is the last to join this little cohort?
I would love to. I'm not nervous at all. So, you hear her before you see her. You hear the distinct clack, clack, clack of heels approaching the doorway. And then crossing the threshold, there is a woman who looks to be around somewhere between like 5'7", 5'8". For people at home, Miss Yelizaveta is 5'6" out of heels, but she is almost never out of heels. So she typically sits around 5'8". Yelizaveta has kind of like warm, like a cinnamon tone to like her skin. And she has the probably sternest look that you have that you might have ever seen, at least in recent memory. She looks just a little annoyed, as if she could be doing something better, when she walks through the room and quietly surveys the people around. She's got very, very wild, kind of curly black hair with white ends, except it doesn't look like it's been colored. In a strange way, it almost looks like the color has been leached from part of her hair. And very deep green eyes. And she just kind of settles her gaze on everyone in the room for a couple of seconds. She's smoking a cigarette. So rude. And currently she is sporting a half mask on the left side of her face that stops kind of halfway above her nose and then above her mouth on the left side. And you'll notice on the right side of her face, it is mottled with burn scars. You don't know. You can't really see anything on the left side of her face, but for whatever reason, she's decided to cover that side. And she walks into the room and she's like, "Oh, how pleasant. Good afternoon, everyone." And then she'll just kind of, is there anywhere to just like sit?
Yeah,
Or is
there
it always
are.
standing space?
Most of it is standing space, but there's a bench and there's a couple chairs. One is in front of the desk, and then one is behind the desk.
The only chairs are the ones in front of the desk and behind the desk?
Yes, and then there's sort of like a bench that's pressed up against the wall.
Okay. She'll go sit on the bench, cross her legs. Oh, I guess this is another thing that I should mention. You would also notice that Elizabetta, her right arm, it is cut off right above the elbow. But she'll sit down, she'll cross her legs, and she's just gonna stare forward. I do think that considering the introduction, her gaze lingers on Caleb for just a second, and there's like a little bit of her wrinkling her nose before she just stares forward and is silent.
All right, so you are all you've all gathered in this space, and there is what is it? You would hope that whoever called you here would arrive in a timely fashion.
Yes,
but
Percy is drumming her fingers on the countertop as we speak. Yeah.
But after all of you have arrived, maybe 5 minutes or so go by without anyone else showing up. So, is there anything that any of you do in this time while you are waiting impatiently? Some more so than others.
I'm going to walk over to the door, poke my head out, and see if anybody's coming.
Okay. There's not really a door per se. It's sort of just like an empty. Okay, so the office itself is sort of under and then tucked behind a large staircase that leads down from like the actual distillery area proper.
Gotcha.
So it's
We know if
kind of
somebody's
yeah, so you would know if somebody's coming. You would more than likely hear them before you actually saw them.
I'm going to refill my glass and pace around what little space there is in the basement.
Have we,
Sounds good.
or is this like a common room to be called to?
Typically it's if the boss Slackjaw or one of his like lieutenants or his second in command needs to call someone, then it's not unheard of to be called to this office. But typically meetings, unless they're like on the more important side, are sort of just like informal and around the old distillery proper.
Okay. I'm just wondering, is there anything I kind of want to snoop just a little bit.
Snoop
Not
away,
necessarily
queen.
like opening like any drawers on the desk, but I'm very curious about just like what's in this room.
Okay.
So I think Elizabeth is gonna get up, kind of just fold her coat, and put it down on the bench and just kind of slowly walk around the room looking at different things. If there's like any any cabinets or whatever, I don't know what they call them, armoires, whatever the heck they're called.
Mhm.
She might snoop through
Wardrobes.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
just things that aren't blocked.
Yeah. All in all, it's a pretty bare space. There's like a couple drawers in the desk. There's sort of like a sort of what looks like a filing cabinet tucked off to the side of the desk. There's a cork board behind the desk as well, sort of adjacent to the whiskey tap. That has like various posters and stuff on it. You have like a poster for the Golden Cat, which is a extremely prolific brothel. You have what appears to be like an old wanted poster for Slackjaw himself that he just has hanging up there. And then there appear to be sort of like a few other like notices here and there that just seem to be like reminders about things. But largely it's like a fairly sparse looking space.
Okay. Is there anything on the corkboard about, you said it has like reminders. Is it reminders about just like things around this hideout that need to be done or like rules? Or is there like a reminder about anything that is upcoming that the gang needs to know about?
Yeah, mainly like stuff that appears to be sort of like inter-gang stuff that various things that like make sure John gets like make sure John clears out the tank this week, make sure that Susie ends up paying her due, various notes like that of just like tasks that need doing, and anything that seems a bit more specific is a bit more like written in a little more like shorthand and like using initials and that sort of thing.
Okay. She's gonna take the wanted poster down and just kind of look at it while leaning against the wall.
Okay. You like look at the wanted poster and it says that he's wanted for at least at this point in time. He was wanted. He had a reward out for him worth 2,000 coin. Certainly nothing to slouch at. And he, his listed charges were assault, murder, disobedience of public ordinance, mendacity, unlawful management of prostitutes, and public urination.
That last one's so evil,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's the worst of the bunch.
Yeah, they really had to make sure to highlight that one. But so after your little snooping, another 5 minutes or so goes by before eventually you hear some sort of like heavy footsteps walking down the stairs and rounding the corner. You see a large man, sort of like built, about 6'1", 6'2", very well dressed, wearing a bowler hat, and has sort of like a mutton chops that connect into a mustache. And he appears to be wearing some gloves that are sort of like covered in like these studs at the knuckles, almost as if he's had like brass knuckles sort of like worked into the gloves themselves. And about like mid to late 20s, and he says, "Good, you're all here. I was wondering if you'd all show." And he sort of like walks past all of you and then takes a seat behind the desk proper. This is not Slackjaw. This is his second in command, Jacob Glass.
Cersei's not impressed. We're already not even dealing with the guy who has obviously brought us all here and hired us for this job. So she says, well, you're on the clock. And so, I mean, take your time. Of course, we're here, we're professionals, and, expect to be compensated accordingly. And Caleb is working on his third shot glass of whiskey. So yeah.
The consummate professional.
yes.
Yes.
You're a real peach, aren't you?
She says, I'm just here to make sure that we get paid like professionals. And right now, like I said, the clock is running. So take your time.
Well, it's not up to me to pay you, but the client who has sort of ordered a rush job, if you will, she would be willing to pay rather well in this particular case. So I don't think you'll have to worry about that too much.
She says, it's not my problem. It'll be your problem if we don't get paid according to our fair compensation. So,
and I do apologize for running it late, but seeing as the boss is absent, it is up to me to make sure everything's running smoothly.
Fair enough.
I hope you understand.
This is a rush job, but it feels very unrushed, unhurried to me. So, yeah, like I said.
Well, it's a bit of a rush job because you 5, my apologies, you 6.
Oh, I'm just here to make sure that this goes through and he gets compensation and I get compensation. So,
yes, you all were not the first pick or the second pick or the third pick, but you're who we could get in quick enough time. And you all showed up, which is appreciated.
Awesome. What are you, his pimp?
Who are you talking to?
Circe.
Oh, she turns around. If she could kill you with a look, she would. She says, "No, I'm his fucking agent." And so she says, she says, "He can't. I'll deal with you later." And she's going to turn
are
way
we
around.
done with the pissing contest? Can we move on to matters so I can go?
Yes, please.
I can respect that. But a long-term client of ours, there's been a bit of a incident involving one of her shipments, and she wanted to have some people from the gang go and speak with her so she can give a bit more details on it and then figure out what happened to it and get it back to her. Is the long and short of it, essentially. Is that something that interests anybody?
Who is this and where do we find them?
Her name is Talia Timsh.
What shipment was it?
Something not exactly above board. As for specific details, that would be for her to disclose. But she can be found in the legal district in the old Timsh estate. She didn't want who knows who showing up at her home proper in the estate district.
But she's okay if we show up?
Well, you'll be going to the legal district, and so not her house proper, which she is slightly more okay with. It wouldn't be exactly the best look for her to show up here.
So then she's the one we should be talking to, right?
That is correct. If you want to hear more details about this job.
Did she
She'll be
offer
like-
you an estimate for this job, or are we supposed to find out from her?
She said that she was willing to pay 300 coin to each of you for the job completed, but was open to negotiations if the terms were amenable.
Cersei
So
will
she's-
snap her
Oh,
fingers and go, let's go.
Quick question before we roll out and we mobilize.
Oh, no, you don't have to go with her, but like, it's just one of those things like let's go.
What?
But that's 300 gold per person.
Yes,
Is
300 coin per person. Correct.
I'm sorry, 300 coin, whatever
Gold
their
coin.
coin is.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, how does that stack up in this world? Seems like a lot.
Yes, I was going to say, well, let me pull up a reference sheet for you.
So you already said 2,000 coin is nothing to slouch at.
Yes, 2,000 coin, that's pretty good. That's pretty damn good.
So
I would say for reference, a pistol is 150 coin,
right.
and
Okay.
a rifle is 300 coin.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think that I'm just thinking of this because then this means that whatever this person wants us to retrieve must be pretty fucking valuable.
That's a
To
fair
be able
assumption.
To be able to part with 1,500, which means that there might be room for really good negotiations, depending on how bad they want it.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's certainly
Anybody wants to
possible.
ride? Cab's leaving now.
I can grab a few.
Yeah, I'll come
How
with.
far is the legal district from here?
Oh boy, let me look at a map real quick.
Now I'm gonna ask you everything.
Yeah. I'll say, let's
Load
see.
screen away.
How much is a
the-
cab today?
If I run at 10 miles per
Yes.
That's
You'll
an
be,
impressive speed.
yes, you'll be running for a hot minute. The legal district is north of the clock tower, and which is in itself north of the estate district, both of which are on the opposite side of the Wrenhaven River. So you'll have to cross one of the bridges in order to get over to that side of the city from where you are currently.
So I charge 3 coin for a trip to the legal district from here.
Am I able to get like I don't know some kind of does Dunwall have like some kind of like I don't know public
Public transportation system.
trip?
There is, but not in this area.
I would say technically
Like
yes. I would say
know.
it has like cabs that run on rails, but that is mainly for there's been work over the past few years on sort of like renovating the less well-off areas to sort of like get all that back into working order, but
Mhm.
it's not quite there yet. So the rail cars are still sort of like relegated to the more like well-off areas of the city, at least currently.
I don't want to ride with people I don't quite know yet. But
I would
if
say
that's the only way to get there.
I would say you could hypothetically, I'd say the closest one that you could get would be near the office of the High Overseer. You could try and find one near there that would take you north of take you north across the river.
Sounds
But
like so much work already.
yeah, I would say, but
And
You know.
that's to say nothing of having to transfer from one line to another. And you know,
Sure.
It's likely that you got at least one pedicab
Fine.
like me around, to get to here unless you walked. But you don't seem Elizabeth doesn't seem like someone who walks.
She will if she has to. But this doesn't feel like a good time to be stubborn. She'll fork over 3 coin. That's
All right,
fine.
yeah, cab seats 2. It's just 3 coin for the whole cab.
She's-
You guys want to split it?
Oh, it's 3 coins for the whole cab. She still hands over 3 coins. She doesn't care.
All right.
But she is moving to sit in the front because she refuses to sit in the
Yeah,
back.
there's no front. There's just a seat that fits 2 people and a bike.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
Yeah, Jimmy's old fashioned like that.
It's just imagine the old pedicab with a little hood over it, and that you can fit 2 butts in the back. There's like a chariot, but reversed, and then a bike in the front. And
understood. Okay. She'll climb in.
velocipede.
Got it.
She'll climb
Got
in
it.
reluctantly, but she'll climb in.
There you go. Yeah, it's got good suspension.
As suspension, you still got the deluxe model.
Yeah.
Those
Like, you look
those cobblestone streets are murder on your butt.
yeah. Oh God, I'm just thinking about it. Already hurt. Elizabetta, it's not very clear if where her social standing per se is, because she doesn't necessarily dress like a noble or anything like that. She does wear somewhat nice clothing, but also she kind of has an imperious personality where she's like, obviously if I ask for a thing, I'm gonna get it one way or another. So that kind of throws off, like, is this bitch a commoner? I don't know. So she's just got a bad attitude. That's what it is.
Well, I mean, I've seen ladies like you at a particular house in town. They get paid good money for that kind of attitude.
It takes all kinds.
All right, I'm pedaling
Also-
away with Elizabetta unless somebody else is jumping in.
Well, I don't think it's many more people can fit.
Can fit a whole
One
one more person.
One more. Yeah. The rest of you, I mean, just wait. Somebody will come by and.
Oh no, Kat has her own transport.
Oh, excellent.
And when you step outside, like Caleb and Cersei are already gone, so
Yeah.
They've just Batman
Okay, well,
away.
gone.
Okay, well, in that case, I'll try and jump onto your guys' cab if you'll have
It's
me.
already paid for, right?
Well,
You know,
So
so
literally just jump on it, and then it's up to you to
Yeah.
We go straight with
I know.
Elizabetta.
Slides over another coin to leave, but I'm just kidding. I'm so
You're like, I'll give you one. I'll give you
Crazy.
one more. I'll give you one more coin if you pedal away as fast as possible without him.
let's leave
Done.
now. Here you go. Ryder comes out. It's like, wait.
So, I know. So is that the move plus move quickly roll?
No. She's
Jump in. Pedal off.
That
Just
would
bail
Come
in.
on, give us a roll.
Oh boy.
But she is. Can I DM? Can I
Yes.
also stealthily pocket the paper, the wanted poster?
You want to pocket the wanted poster?
That's
How old is that thing?
do I even stealthily do it? She's going. What's his name? Was it Jacob Glass?
Yeah, Jacob Glass.
How many times have I talked to this Jacob? Maybe a couple times, right?
I'd say
A boss.
maybe a few. Yeah.
Oh boy, we're just getting into it. She's just gonna. If she's going to just pocket this and it won't be stealthy, she's just gonna put it away like it's no big deal. And if he does look at her, she will make eye contact while she does this.
I'd say since you're not subtle about it at all, he does see you do this.
And she's
And-
just like, big fan.
Aren't we all? He is pretty partial to that poster, though.
I don't. I don't think she's gonna respond to that. Is he specifically telling her to put it back? Yeah, because she mind blast him.
I was like, she can interpret that however she wants.
Then okay, she'll just probably go, I'll make sure to bring it. And then she'll give the 3 coins. 2, right?
Yeah, and when you say, I was saying, when you say that, Jacob will sort of just be like, okay.
This is going to be possibly an issue later, but that's okay. She does want this poster. Yeah.
Is there any particular reason she wants this poster?
Mhm.
All right, fair enough.
Have a copy made, get it framed, and give it to him.
Take it to a printing press. Be like, big fan. I borrowed this from a friend. All right, so Kat, you have your own mode of transportation. Ryder and Elizaveta are going with Jimmy. Caleb, how are you and Cersei traveling?
Well, I assume Cersei has her people that she can, call upon when she needs transit from one end of the city to the other because she gets around. So.
Oh, well, how about more immediately?
More immediately? Well, I mean, if no such transit is available, and she would know if it was, I guess they would just start walking.
Okay.
I'll try to flash you as I drive by.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I would say,
I assume that there's other people that do what Jimmy does. So,
Gotta be.
yeah. True, but Jimmy is slightly more old-fashioned. He's a man of the people in that way. Getting people around in ways that, the commoners can't afford more often than not. But I'd say, Jimmy, you do end up passing Caleb and Cersei as you're pedaling by.
She doesn't even look. She just gives him the finger, basically. She just, she doesn't like him already. And, yeah.
Real good bunch. Real good bunch we got here.
The best group coordination ever. Already off to a great start.
All right.
That may stop if she sees them and be like, you want to do anything besides walk?
That would be great. And
And
then
Off
she
them.
will, she'd be like, thank you very much. And she will get inside and, of course, motion for Caleb to get in. He kind of gets in behind and immediately, like Pigpen, from Peanuts, he just got this aroma all the way around him. So everybody's gonna know.
Yeah.
So it's meant to be a 2-person bike, so there's now 4 of us squeezed in.
I would say, Kat has an actual vehicle, not just not a pedicab.
Yeah.
That's loaded.
But
I think Ryder will actually get out and hold on to the back.
you'll get out and hold on to the back of the pedicab, or you'll see Kat. Okay.
Just kind of stand on the back. I assume there's some sort of rear bumper equivalent or something like that.
Sure, we can say that. All
right next to the little luggage rack on the back.
Yeah.
You could technically sit a third person in the luggage rack, but it's not comfortable.
Well, I'd say.
Cersei's pretty small, so.
Yeah, I would say. Wait, okay. So just for reference, so Ryder, are you on the back of Jimmy's pedicab, Or
Yes.
did you? Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if you were on the back of his pedicab, or you saw a cat driving by, bailed out, and then leapt onto the back of that. Okay, good. Thank you.
Better
It's not
ride.
that much of a journey. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Just jump from one pedicab to the next until we get
Yeah.
there.
Okay. So,
And as they
Cat-
pass again, and Cat's ride drives right past Jimmy, Cersei gives him the finger again. It's like,
what a lovely lady. So, Kat, you, Caleb, and Cersei arrive a good bit before Jimmy, Ryder, and Elizaveta. So, do you guys hang out until the others show up, or do you say fuck these people and just get going?
are you inviting me to say fuck these people? Because Cersei will.
Sense that. Yeah.
It's like Caleb won't because he can't, but Cersei will say it for him.
Cersei will be like, fuck these people. I'm going to be negotiating a better position for us right now. And I'll include Kat in that deal since she gave us a ride in her better ride. So, yeah. I'm not at all like, knifing these other people in the back already.
It's like, I know we're all in a gang together, but fuck you, actually.
That's right.
Is that not how it works? I would think.
Okay.
I think Kat would want to like kind of get her bearings a little bit before she goes in. Like
Very fair.
exits, what's around.
Yeah, extremely fair, extremely fair. So looking at the immediate area, first thing you notice, the streets spotless comparatively to the distillery district. It is pristine, it's clean. Sort of like where the Timsh estate is set up. It has like a rather large courtyard out front that you're able to sort of just like pull up to the opening of the the front door of the house. Sort of looking around, sort of the exterior of the building, it appears to be about 4 stories tall. Looks like it also has a basement, judging by sort of like window placements on the exterior of the building. If you sort of like move around the corner, you see sort of like at the far end of the building what appears to be sort of like a servant's entrance. And there are sort of a couple balconies on each floor. And those appear to be all of the like ins and outs that you can like immediately see from the building itself. And there's like various like other what appear to be sort of like apartment or business buildings, sort of like a distance away, but like the Timsh estate proper has sort of this almost like extremely like wide space like all around it, sort of just like in the middle of the legal district.
Storyteller. I think one detail needs to be clarified.
All right.
Just for the sake of understanding the difference in where we are now versus where we were before.
Sure.
How does it smell in comparison to where we were before?
It smells significantly less like alcohol,
Right.
and trash. It
Right.
smells nothing. There's nothing of trash.
So
if
Caleb is
anything,
already going to stand out even
yeah,
more.
I was
here.
gonna say. I was gonna say. So Caleb is the most wretched smelling thing within like a 5-mile radius.
Got it. Yep.
All right.
Now, did we get a name for our contact?
Yes, you're meeting Talia Timsh.
Okay. Sorry, I had a brain fart moment.
Nope, you're good. Yes, you're meeting Talia Timsh, who well, I guess depending on your history with the inner workings of, sort of like Dunwall politics and all that, you may or may not know who she is. But just looking at her estate, you can tell that she is well off, to say the least.
How? Okay. What does well off mean? Right? Because there's nobility, but then there's also going to be like people who are just like rich because they, have a profession that they did real well in and just raked in the money. So like, what does this feel like? I mean, this is the Leo district, and we're not at her house.
Yes, you're not at her home proper.
So does this seem like something that reeks a little bit more of like new money because she's self-made, or is this like, does it have a little bit of that ostentatious kind of that little underlying feel of like, oh, I just had money and now I'm going to make more money because I already have lots of money?
Very fair. All good questions. I say also, I'd say, I guess depending on sort of like whether you three decide to like go in or not. The other three, you arrive maybe like 20 to 30 minutes after the others arrive. But Elizaveta, remind me sort of like, what's the social standing of the family that you work for?
The family that Elizaveta works for, well, specifically the person that she works for, is I had him as nobility, but he's kind of like an older fellow, just like lower nobility. They have money, but not much like social standing per se. A cash cow, if you will, just to be so very honest. An older guy who's desperate. He was a good target.
Love it. Love to see it. So
I think her credentials from where she studied kind of helps get her through the door, even though she herself is not of like nobility.
Yes. Basically, with your background, for a multitude of reasons, a lot of Dunwall aristocracy would more spit wherever you step than let you in. So it is a true feat that you landed this position. But I'd say with your background and also your connection to this man, you would know that the Timshes are sort of they're what are called Viscounty peers, which are sort of like middle nobility that are on their way up.
Okay.
So they're not like the old and the elite. They're not like the old blood, old money, but they are very influential, very wealthy, very connected, all that sort of thing. And
that's what she wants. She wants, because newer money, even like nobility that don't have titles that do the talking, tend to be a little bit more hungry for power in terms of wealth. And listen, Mama's got things she gotta buy for her little deeds. So she's just taking note of this. She wants to kind of get a feeling for how much she might be able to bleed this person dry.
Fair enough. All right. So I guess I will revisit the question to Kat and Caleb. Do you wait for the others to show up before attempting to enter, or do you just go?
Cersei's not waiting, and Caleb just goes where Cersei goes.
I feel like Caleb might be a zombie.
Kat would take some time to make herself presentable. Like, she might have stashed a really nice looking coat in, basically smoothed out the wrinkles, fixed her hair, taken her a few minutes, but she'd probably wait inside.
All right. So the three of you, like Kat, after you make yourself a bit more presentable, you all go up to the front door of the estate, and you, I'm assuming Cersei, since she's such a in charge kind of a lady, knocks on the door. And a servant, middle-aged woman in a maid's outfit, enters the door, and up here, based off the look on her face, is immediately assaulted by the stench that is reeking off of Caleb, and instinctively just closes the door.
Cersei's going to stick her foot
Caleb.
in between the door and the frame, just so she can't get all the way closed. She's like, "We're here for the job."
And she sort of like looks to Cersei like through the crack, and she looks to Cersei and then like looks to you behind her, and
She'll be like, "He can wait in the back if it's too much."
And she just says to Cersei, "He's with you?"
He does my work for me. Yeah, I get him connected to the jobs. He's not much to look at, but he's very effective at what he does.
Why is he like that?
Well, I could tell you, but then it would cost you to stand here and talk about my associate. So you're gonna have to...
I guess like for Elizaveta, can you make me a talk forcefully roll?
For me?
Not for Elizaveta, for Cersei.
They are kind of overlapping a little bit.
The vibes are extremely similar right now.
Yeah.
Talk forcefully. Got it. So,
and then you can apply any relevant focuses.
Right. So help me through rolling, because I just want to make sure our audience understands how the game is played. And
what you do here is on your character sheet you have skills and styles, and whenever you roll, you combine a skill and a style together, and you'll get a number.
Okay.
And you can add any relevant focuses, which are sort of just like extra bits that are relevant to the roll. You can add to that number, and whatever total you get, when you roll your d20s, you want to try and get that number or lower.
Well, See, I got a 1 on one of these dice, which is nice, but I got
Yes,
a
that is a critical success.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
nice.
Because I didn't talk about the second dice, and I mean, if we don't need to talk about that second dice, we don't have.
No, we can still talk about it.
That second dice is a much higher number, in the range of 13. But the one is what we want to focus on, I think.
Yeah. Yes, I would say. Oh, I would say. What was your total to work with?
So for a forceful talking, and this, I'm just going to use Caleb's here because it's not his strong suit, and I don't have numbers for Cersei. I guess I could fabricate numbers for her, but we'll just use his. It's an 8 total. So yeah, So, but I still feel like that one deserves.
Yes. No. You are correct.
Yeah.
You are correct in that.
Yeah.
The maid it sort of just silently opens up the door and sort of like gestures to let all of it to let the three of you in.
Okay.
And
with
Caleb,
a frown, no doubt. Yeah.
A little bit, but Caleb, with that, you can also give yourself a momentum.
Thank you.
Is the momentum shared in this, or is that?
No, momentum is per individual person.
Okay.
And you get let me double check that. I thought it was per individual person, but
not usually in a 2d20 game. It's usually shared by the party, but it might be for this one.
Yeah, I don't know how it doesn't.
Yes, I would say, but the way momentum works is if you get more successes than are required, then you get a momentum point that can be used for a few different things sort of later on down the line whenever they are relevant.
No, it's shared. Yeah.
Okay.
And the max
Okay,
is 6.
my apologies.
It can't go over 6. But everyone can spend from it as you see fit. Yeah. And
All right.
basically
Sounds
you
good.
generate momentum by getting more successes than you need.
Indeed.
Since we're not doing this manually, Aloysius, are you going to track momentum for us, or would you want one of us to do it?
I can keep track of it.
Thank you.
No problem. I'm already
Actually,
I'm already keeping track of my chaos, so why not?
I'm happy to keep track as well. You know.
All right. If you would like to keep track of the momentum, then you can keep track of the momentum.
You can count on me. I'll make sure the momentum is absolutely yeah.
Sounds good. Appreciated.
Yeah.
I think it also goes away at the end of each scene, so that makes it easier.
And if we
Yes.
don't have momentum to spend, you can always give Aloysius chaos in the same manner.
Yes. You can give me chaos in order to do what
Horrible things to us.
Yes, I can use that to do horrible things to you.
Yeah.
But
Aloysius would never do that, of course.
No.
Yeah.
I'm very opposed to such things. But yes, you can offer me chaos in order to do what you would normally be able to do with momentum if you have none to spend.
Even if you have something to spend, if you just
Even if you have to spend, even if you really, really want this to go off without a hitch, then you can give me some chaos. But so the maid lets the three of you in, and she sort of like looks to the three of you and says, "Are there? Should we be expecting others, or is it just you?"
Cat will pipe up and go, "Yes, madam. There should be 3 more coming."
All right, very well.
And she'll hand her like a handkerchief, which is lightly scented.
All right. What is it lightly scented with?
More of like a citrusy.
Okay.
A not lavender, but like vanilla.
Okay.
So it's a very calm scent, but some of it will hopefully mask Caleb a little bit.
Yes, and she sort of takes it from you and sort of like holds it up to her nose, and she says, "Thank you. I will be sure to keep an eye out for them. If the three of you would not mind, please waiting in the parlor over there. Once the others arrive, I will go and notify the lady of the house that you have arrived, and when the rest of your associates arrive, I will fetch you and bring you to her."
Sounds good. And she'll go where direct.
And she wanders off, still holding the handkerchief up to her nose. Right. About 20 minutes go by, and Jimmy, you arrive with Ryder and Yelizaveta outside, seeing that Cat's cab has beaten you by some indeterminate amount of time.
Mhm. Well, I
So Cat is
Part-
here already.
get out and start walking to the door.
I follow him. I'm kind of full of dust probably because I've been riding on the back road.
Yeah, Ryder, you definitely have a real wind-blown look about you right now, that's for sure.
I'm speedy.
Yeah, I will follow suit. I'll put my cigarette out before we go in.
How many
Nice
cigarettes
to-
have you gone through?
Oh, since on the way there, definitely 2.5.
Okay.
And that's the nice thing about these open air pedicabs is you can smoke in them.
Yeah, and she still would have smoked anyways, even if it was closed. I'm so sorry.
She's like, I don't give a shit about secondhand smoke.
At all. There's worse things. We lived through a plague. It's fine.
Yeah. I
It's
I
like
do
we-
smell a lot
It's like we
smoke.
all could have already been dead, so who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The rider pulls out, like, rolls himself a cigarette and also lights them.
Right.
Like,
We don't know about cancer.
And even if we did, we probably won't care about it.
cigarettes are good for you. Everybody says so.
Yeah.
All right, but if they're already inside,
Maybe not. Knock, knock, knock.
All right, you knock on the door, and the same maid who greeted the previous three opens up the door and says, I see you. You must be the other three that I should be expecting."
The others are here.
Yes, they are waiting in the parlor currently.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryder's kind of looking around at this house. It's probably the biggest house he's ever been in his entire life.
Yeah, it is. The entryway alone is huge. You.
Oh,
sort of
this
like-
is as big as my flat.
Yeah, you step up like into the house itself, and you see the sort of like as you walk in, there's a sort of like wide, long corridor that heads off to some stairs at the very end, about maybe like anywhere from like 80 to 100 feet in front of you. And there's a sort of like entryway off to the left side that appears to be where the parlor is, and then to the right, which is sort of like the entryway is exact opposite to the entryway to the parlor. There's a large sort of like open space with a large chandelier hanging from the ceiling, and you sort of like look up, and there's a balcony that wraps all the way around that goes up at least 2 floors, and the walls are just covered in paintings and various other art pieces and things of that nature. It's a very extravagant looking place.
Okay.
Yeah, they can't be old money. This is too much.
I'm just gonna
Is-
try to stare straight ahead so I don't gawk at things.
Yeah. Ryder just gawks at things. So where's this Richmond then?
And the maid says, please wait with the others in the parlor, and I will tell the my lady that that you are all here, and then I will come get you all.
Thank you.
And so
Good.
the three of you join the others in the parlor.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
just gonna walk off to the parlor.
Is there any
Smell
drinks
where
or
we have
food
to
in the
go.
parlor?
There's like various like fruits and that sort of thing like on the table, like Circonan grapes and Bristol pears and various things of that nature. There appears to be there appears to be like a pitcher of water sitting there.
I want to pour myself some water. It was quite a trip.
Yeah, I'm sure you're quite tired.
Yeah. I'll pick up some grapes, sniff them, and then kind of try one generally.
Yeah. You try one of the grapes. They are delicious. Maybe the best grapes you've
Ooh.
ever had.
These are really good. We will try some. Offer them to whoever's closest to me.
All right, yeah. I'll grab 3 grapes off of your bunch, and I'm going to walk over by Caleb.
I'll say
Caleb.
yes. I would say compared to the like the pristine air that you were just in outside, and like how clean everything around it is, the stench radiating off of Caleb is almost an assault to the senses.
You
I
can
want-
taste it. Yeah.
I've still got my cigarette, so at least that's an
Yeah.
improvement.
People smoke around him just to not taste it.
I've probably not smelled worse, at least not in a
Does
long
it
time.
smell better
Not-
outside of the room?
It does smell better outside of the parlor currently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where I come from, you don't disparage a man for smelling like
Me,
he's been
T,
living rough.
I'm so sorry. But
But I'm
Elizabeth
like,
is going to step outside this room. She will not subject herself to this.
Caleb, what's the deal with Bossy Lady?
Hey,
My
that's
thoughts
all-
exactly, big guy.
It's a thoughtful look. You don't talk much, do you? Oh, okay, it's a pretty sweet deal. All right,
Zombie for
I'll
real.
tolerate her for you.
Cat is just sitting on a couch or whatever with a little other handkerchief kind of up to her nose. Not as well as the maid, but kind of like under it.
Yeah, just like right under the nostrils.
No, more of like just touching the tip of her nose.
Okay.
So still lets her breathe, but lets her inhale the scent she has on that one.
Get little
Sounds-
Vicks out. Put
Sounds
it in there.
good.
DM, would you allow me to open my medical kit and I don't know, make some kind of
Take out the
makeshift,
smelling salts.
liquid
I was gonna
smelling
say-
salts
Yeah, I was
to
gonna say
douse
you
the
like pull out,
handkerchief in.
I was gonna say you start pulling out smelling salts or opium or something.
I was gonna say like I could see
Pass that
her
around.
taking some different things, like some different vials out of her kit, and then just mixing a few things and dousing a handkerchief and using that before re-entering the room.
Sure.
Just as, like some kind of chemical barrier to the smell.
Sure. Just just for funsies.
Chloroform. She chloroforms herself. Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Excellent.
I would say just for funsies.
Yeah, you want me to roll? That's fair.
I do want you to roll, yes.
Can I
because
just say,
think
can I
it's
just do a
fun.
little chemistry test right here?
Yeah, I was gonna say, make me a. I guess like, how are you going about this? Like, what's your mentality when you're doing it?
If you call from yourself, then you don't have to worry about the smell anyway. So it's a win-win situation.
She's just kind of, and yeah, like kind of in the same way that smelling salts works, but she's gonna use this as like a olfactory barrier. But she's using vials of liquids of probably things that she knows won't poison her if she's inhaling it directly from her handkerchief.
Okay, so
Good
I'll
news.
say, make me a tinker swiftly roll.
What's the
I
difficulty?
offer Caleb a cigarette. I roll him one.
What's the difficulty?
He
Mm,
takes it. You know, just,
I liked it for you.
Would you let me do it cleverly? Because I'm a doctor.
I guess if you're taking a little more time with it, then I'll say you can do it cleverly.
I'm not Russian.
Then,
Unless it's
then
like
by
this
all,
person's
nope,
going to be here right now.
no, then by all means.
Okay. Okay, you're going to have to walk me through the roll just like one more time. I'm rolling 2d20s.
Yes, you're rolling 2d20s. And you can either
Add a 3 and a 12.
is it 3 and a 12? Okay. And what is your total? Like, what is your like, what's the number you're trying to
So-
meet or get? Up?
Cleverly plus what thing? Tinker, right?
My tinker is 4 and my cleverly is 5, and I also have a focus in medicine.
Okay, what is your focus in medicine?
It is a 4.
Is a 4. Okay, so 13 total.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 2 successes in that regard, and yeah, easily enough, you sort of makeshift a smelling salt concoction to sort of just mask Caleb's
So calming.
scent. Yes, to mask Caleb's scent just a little bit. Make it a little more tolerable.
Okay. She walks back in. She has a smile on her face. Just a light smile. She's perfectly fine now.
And not too long after you sort of like finish that, you the maid returns and says, Miss Timsh will see you all now.
All right, lead the way.
And she sort of gestures all of you to follow, and she heads up the stairs. And when you get up to the second floor, you have to sort of like wind all the way around the balcony to the other side because the stairs are on the opposite balcony. And then same for when you get to the third floor. And once you get to the fourth floor, you sort of like walk up and head down a hallway where you where there's sort of like a door at the very end of the hallway, and then there's a large set of double doors on the left side as you're approaching. And the maid goes to the double doors and knocks on them, and a couple moments go by, and both the doors open up, and you see a city watch officer open them up. He's maybe late 30s, early 40s. Dark hair that's graying ever so slightly at the temples. Sort of has like a mustache and a little bit of stubble on his cheeks. And the I'm sorry, I got distracted by the message in the corner. It's all good. No, it's all good. It was a lot of text, so I was like, oh, that's probably important. But I'll get to it in a second. But so he has a stubble and he has a mustache and a bit of stubble like on his cheeks. And he's wearing a sort of like bright blue uniform, which for those of you with any familiarity with the City Watch and sort of like how they operate, indicates that they are sort of like bodyguards essentially for various aristocrats or their families and that sort of thing. So so whoever this guy is personally assigned to Talia Timsh.
Look at
And he sort of like looks at this eclectic group of people this sort of like eclectic group of people with his like steely gray eyes, and sort of reluctantly lets all of you enter.
Is there like a, let me see. Let me take a look at the sheet because I want to say it correctly. Can I study? Can I study this man before walking in?
Can you study this man? What do you want to study about this man?
I want to see what kind of, I'm trying to glean kind of just like physical well-being.
Physical well-being?
Yes. Am I noticing anything in his posture or the way that he's holding himself that kind of would make me think that, like he's standing a certain way, he's got a bit of a limp, it looks like, or like something is wrong.
I see.
Block him.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to study him.
All right, sure. You may. How would you like to go about studying him?
She's not trying to be careful about this because she doesn't care if he notices that she's studying him.
Ooh.
So, and it's not necessarily forceful because she's just looking at him. She's not.
She's not like she's not like walking up and like groping him and like feeling his legs and that sort of thing or anything.
Right. I think that what makes most sense is going to either be, I would say, maybe boldly or like swiftly.
I feel like boldly is super appropriate for her.
Fair enough. Okay, so my study is 6, and my boldly is 4. So that's 10.
That's
right?
10. Mm-hmm.
And then would I be able to utilize my focus for this?
Yeah. I would say if you're like looking for like any, like anything sort of like physically wrong with him, then
Yes.
if you're looking for anything like physically wrong for him, I'd say your like medicine focus would
Sure.
apply.
Or even if you wanted to do, because I know my medicine is a 4, my surgery is only a 3, and so the way that the rules work, I think that if we wanted to say that she is kind of trying to see like, as a person in this line of duty, has this person ever gotten hurt or has some physical ailment that has needed attention from a doctor before that she might be able to notice. Because it also makes it fun. It makes it harder to get a crit. 'Cause it's a lower
That is true. So I am a-okay with that.
Okay. So I got a 7 and a 19. So that is only one success.
One success. Okay. You sort of
Wait.
just like give
Is
this.
momentum something that you can use? Listen.
Yes, you can use it. You can use momentum.
Okay. Because I thought I read it. You can do something with a roll, but is it you can use momentum to re-roll 1d20? Or is it what am I thinking?
You can use momentum to give yourself more dice to roll.
Oh.
Generally before you roll.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Generally before you roll.
Yeah.
Well, if it's too late now, that's okay.
I would say, but because of a certain item you carry around,
Sure.
you
Yeah.
you do have a void point that you could spend that would allow you to re-roll if you so chose.
Let's do that. Which, as you know, you get a chaos point because I'm 100% gonna do this. Thank you.
Yep. I will make a note of that.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just re-roll one with spending the void point, or am I supposed to re-roll
you get to re-roll any of the ones you want.
Okay. I will
You can re-roll as many as you want.
Let's fucking go. Okay, I got a 7 and a 4. And what
7
did
and
I
a
say?
4.
So 10. So that's 2 successes.
2 successes. All right. So you sort of like just give this man shamelessly give this man the once over, and it takes him like you see him sort of like be taken a little off guard by.
It's so clinical too.
Yeah,
it is like scarily clinical. Like
by just like how cold and calculated you are.
Yeah, like I'm dissecting you in my mind's eye.
And you sort of like look him up and down, and like at a first glance, nothing really seems to be standing out to you too much. He seems to be like a man in extremely good health. He appears physically fit, that sort of thing. But sort of like when you're looking over him at like that moment that you sort of catch him off guard a little bit, you notice that there's like an ever so slightly like twitch in like his shoulder area. Potentially like an old wound from like when he was a bit younger. It's a bit difficult to say if it's like anything specific, like whether it's like an actual injury or maybe it's like some sort of like subconscious nerves or just like a nerve issue. But there could potentially be something there.
Okay. And just to clarify, what was forgot to write his name down. What is this person's name again?
You have not heard his name yet.
Oh, okay. Oopsie daisy.
Nope, you're good.
What's your badge number?
Give me your badge, officer. I want to see. I'm gonna write it down. But he lets all of you in, and
quick question.
Yes.
She got 2 successes on that. Did that generate any momentum?
That did not generate momentum.
Okay. And Diver, how much momentum do we have?
You should have 2.
2. I would like to spend that 2 and activate my City of Whispers talent at the start of the scene, if you don't mind.
All right. By all means, please explain to the group what the City of Whispers does.
Basically, it lets me tap into my web of informants around the city. and allows me to ask the GM one additional detail about the situation or location.
All right.
And it basically comes from rumors that I've heard. So I'm wondering, what kind of shipping concerns is this family into, so we know what we're getting ourselves into?
I'm so glad you asked. So with your connections around the city, you would know that in recent years, Talia Timsh, at least according to those who know her, but are all baseless rumors, of course. Need to have plausible deniability. She has taken a particular interest in the occult after she had a dealing with the assassin Dowd during the Rat Plague, and she has become very interested in learning more about the occult and gaining occult artifacts and things of those nature. So if you had to hazard a guess, the shipment would likely have something to do with that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. And so the officer lets you all in. The maid sort of like gives him a bow as she goes off to go about her business. And as you all enter, the officer sort of like walks over to a rather large desk in this extremely elaborate study with various paintings and various like taxidermied animals and that sort of thing, sort of just like littered throughout. And waiting at the desk is a woman in her like late 20s, early 30s. And she has this sort of like well-kept curly red hair and rather sort of like flawless looking skin, and is wearing sort of like a purple pantsuit. And she is sort of like very lovely looking velvet gloves. And sort of like as you all walk in, and she says, you're here. So glad you could join me.
It's a pleasure, Cersei says. And it's a nice place you got here.
Yes, thank you. It was my uncle's originally before I inherited it after he had become discredited.
Out of character, are there any note when you say taxidermied animals on the wall? Are these mostly for like show and they're nothing special, or is this kind of like, yeah, I or my friends hunted some of these animals and there's something significant among them type of thing?
The last thing.
I say, sort of like when you like look around, a lot of there's like lots of sort of like various insects on the wall and that sort of thing, and then there are a few sort of like larger creatures, sort of like taxidermied birds, sort of just like dangling from the ceiling. And sort of like off to the like far end, there appears to be some sort of like large taxidermied sort of like simian type creature that has sort of like been propped up on like a tree that's sort of like growing out of a base at the end of the study.
Okay. Well, Cersei doesn't give a shit about any of that, but Caleb is definitely like looking around and noticing the simian creature, and kind of his eyes linger on it. His eyebrows raise slightly.
But yes, I'm very glad all of you could join me. Oh, where are my manners? I am Talia Timsh. I am pleased to make all of your acquaintances. Slackjaw and I go back a ways, so I appreciate him getting back to me on this matter. It is a little unfortunate that this has happened, and it's nothing like this has happened before. Normally, you folks are quite good and timely about keeping my merchandise intact. So, does anyone know exactly what happened? What details do you know exactly?
Jacob said you'd be telling us.
As I suspected. I was having a statuette of sorts being imported from the icy fields of Tivia, and I
Caleb
was
immediately grunts.
I was gonna say Elizabeth perks up at that.
and I was very much looking forward to adding it to my collection, but it appears there was an incident at the docks, a raid of some sort by the sounds of it. And it seems as though whoever left with said artifact knew exactly what they were looking for, which is also a bit concerning because nothing like this has happened before. I know you members of Bottle Street, when it comes to this sort of thing, tend to be a bit more on the discreet side. I know you all have your bombastic sides. I feel like that's just par for the course for any gang, quite frankly, but discretion has never been an issue in this particular regard. So how the information could have leaked is of interest to me as well.
Cersei is whispering to Caleb, and he's shaking his head, and she turns back around, and she says, well, I mean, your business dealings can sometimes result in things like this. I don't know who you're dealing with. This is the first time I've been brought into it, and I can assure you that we will approach this with the utmost professionalism, according to the compensation.
Very well. Does anybody else have anything to add? Anything to air at all?
How big is the statue?
How big, like of the simian creature?
No, I mean the statue that was.
The statuette. She says it was about 10 inches tall, a little under a foot.
Have I heard anything about a raid on the docks recently?
I would say, I'd say you would have heard sort of like whispers here and there. But the fact that it was like connected to Bottle Street or Azariah's shipping company in general, you wouldn't have heard any specifics about that. It seems like they were trying to keep it hush hush.
What did the statuette depict?
To my knowledge, it didn't depict anything specific. I'd suppose that it closest it would resemble a whale, but not quite. A bit more abstract.
Where out of Tivia did this come from?
I believe it was somewhere around the fields near Wagon, to my knowledge.
Okay. So, okay. That's further north than home. Like northwest, I think.
Yes, northwest.
But this statuette that Talia is talking about. If it's an artifact, would I have good reason to think that it is, like a specific type of artifact? She's not saying bone charm, but I think that's immediately what Elizaveta is thinking, but not saying out loud. Is she is wondering if this is something like, if this was like a thing that was found and was being transported to her, or if this was a thing that was created and being transported to her.
Yes. You don't have like a ton of information to go off of at the moment, because she hasn't described sort of like what it's made of, like what color it is, what specifically it looks like. But it's not entirely out of the question. That like bone charms and occult artifacts take various forms and shapes and that sort of thing. So so at the moment it's a big old maybe.
Okay, so maybe I just ask them. Elizabeth is going to then just kind of she's going to watch Talia's reaction to her questions specifically. Just kind of she's trying to keep an eye on like any emotion that starts to slip out by what she's going to ask. So the very first thing she's going to say is just, "Did you purchase a bone charm?" Just blurts it out.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, you went there.
Say, make me a because you're sort of like trying to like read her reactions. Make me a study cleverly roll.
Absolutely. Also, I forgot that I have the librarian talent, so I add an extra d20 anyways to any study roll that I do. So
okay.
I will try and remember that going forward.
I'll say good to know going forward.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. And I'm sorry, you said study and then cleverly?
Cleverly.
Study is 6, cleverly is 5, so that is 11.
It's pretty good.
And let us please hope for the best. Got 2 7s and 1 6.
Okay.
I got 2 7s and 1 fucking 6.
Nice.
All right, nice indeed. So that's 3 successes, and I'd say
I'm cooked for the rest of the season. This is gonna be the only good episode for me.
Yes, I would say so. The group also gains a momentum, and you sort of like as you ask the question, you can tell she's very good at concealing what she's thinking, like at
Mhm.
least like on her face anyway. But she gives like a sort of like a slight like twinge, like the tiniest of smirks that basically reads to you as if she's thinking, the audacity of this bitch.
I think Elizaveta, when she says that, she's going to drop the handkerchief a little bit. She's been holding on to it still. And kind of just smile. Just kind of smile at her and say, I mean, let's call an apple to apple. Was it a bone shine?
Say, I do appreciate a fellow who is also interested in occult objects, but as to whether it was a bone charm, I can't say specifically. All I know is that it was interesting to me.
Do I
Do you-
believe her when she says that she can't say, like she doesn't know what it was?
I'd say I'd say with your previous role, I'd say you could tell that she's at least being as truthful as she can be.
That's the sort of thing that you can spend a momentum to ask specifically and get a truthful answer for
Oh,
when you
Oh.
generate momentum.
okay. I will also keep that in mind. This is new resource. Whew, these are strange lands.
Indeed. I've only
okay.
run this one other time.
Can I also just like take like a glance at her the guard that is still here?
Sure.
I'm just kind of wondering if he has any reaction to my question and also what she's saying.
I'd say you, because he's less well versed in the world of political intrigue. So yeah, sort of like when you ask if it's a bone charm, you notice that he does sort of like look to her with like a slight look of concern, but like as she's talking, he doesn't really give any reaction to that.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I rest my case. No, just playing.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Well, since the supernatural cat is out of the bag, do you have any rival collectors in the city that might be suspects for having stepped in and liberated your item?
Specific individuals, I can't say I do. But if this was a well-organized raid of some sort, I do have one inkling. It may not actually be them, but at the very least it is a lead I can point you towards. To my knowledge, the Six Ways gang is the I guess most prolific purveyors of occult items within the city. I feel like going to them may be a good place to start.
Yeah, that sounds like a good thing to look into.
One more question from me. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course.
You said that there's nobody that you could think of specifically as a rival trying to take something from you. But your interests? She shrugs. Do you have friends with whom you share these interests with?
My dear, the fact that you ask such questions means that you may dress very nicely, but you're no aristocrat.
Need to be.
To be interested in the occult? No, of course not. But one would know that there is no aristocrat who is not interested in the occult.
Well, of course.
And
But then which friends have you specifically shared your interests with? They're the ones then that might know what you're trying to procure.
I don't have friends. I have stepping stones.
Even better.
Okay, so out of character.
Yes.
Do we know, or would Cersei be familiar with, or Caleb be familiar with the reputation of said gang that we're dealing with here?
I guess it, sort of like if, as for Cersei goes, sort of like what circles does she, find herself in usually?
Yeah, so basically she basically is the person who gets the other people jobs. She is a networker, type of and so she's got her nose to the grindstone all the time, as far as hey, she's listening out for any kind of opportunities because she takes a cut of everything that they do. So she takes 50% of whatever Caleb makes, and gets him work basically, and it makes her money to be aware and best of all these opportunities, and she doesn't give a shit who is paying and who is interested in anything else. She works with everybody. So for her, it's less about it. She's not nearly concerned with status or anything else like Elisabetta or perhaps other people. She's just concerned about the cold hard cash. And so yeah, any of these kind of opportunities that come up of somebody needs something done, dirty deeds, that sort of thing.
Cheap.
Yeah, exactly. She's gonna try to get her people connected to that so that she makes a cut of the profit, type of thing.
Yes. I would say that I would say she would know of them.
Yeah.
And she wouldn't know how the Bottle Street Gang are based out of the the old whiskey distillery. She wouldn't know specifically where they're set up,
right.
But she would know that they primarily operate within the Wormwood district.
Yeah. And do they have a reputation, on the street or anything like that? Is in other words, what she's angling for here, let me provide some context, is that if these are people that are considered maybe even dangerous or something like that, that kind of, in her calculating mind, it's it ups the fee,
Okay. Yeah.
So that's where she's angling for here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fair, very fair. They definitely have a reputation within the Dunwall underworld as being essentially head of the occult trade, essentially. And they are known to be extremely dangerous when they need to be.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's going to need to be reflected in the fee. So she will basically say, well, I'm sure that you're aware of who these people are and what their reputation is. and I expect that shall be factored into consideration when we arrive at final compensation for completion of this job, because now you've obviously introduced elements that are considerably more how shall we put this, off-putting to normal people and not professionals. But we're willing to take the job, provided we receive fair compensation for the level of threat and danger that is involved here.
Yes, I do believe that Jacob should have relayed the reward.
He did. He relayed a
yes.
basic, an opening price. But see, the way we work here is that the job might entail additional circumstances and elements of well, how shall we put this? Challenges that would entail an increased compensation and reward. You see, if everything goes smoothly, perhaps we stick with that figure. But these things don't often go smoothly. And if you really want this job to be done the way you want, and it's really important to you to get this artifact retrieved, then naturally you will understand that further complications will entail a renegotiated price. I feel like that's fair. You're paying to have a job done, and we simply want compensation for that job.
And
and the hazard fee.
Yeah, I would say, and sort of like as you're now negotiating money and all that sort of thing.
This is what Cersei does. This is her whole thing.
I would say, Talia looks over to her bodyguard and says, "Gregory, would you mind leaving us a moment?" And
she kills you all in this room.
and
pulls out her nobility ray, and it kills you instantly.
Yeah, and you all just die from how wealthy she is. And he sort of like slightly hesitates, but then like gives her a nod and exits the room and closes the door behind him. He's a good man. So I am sensing that 300 coin does not sound sufficient to you.
Well,
what would be a reasonable ask for you, in your professional opinion?
We all turn to look at Siri.
She says,
I put my number in the chat.
she says, so, well, normally a job like this goes for twice that. But here's the thing. We realize it's a competitive market, and we are running a special today, and we're willing to offer, say, our services at $450.
$450.
Mm-hmm. Again, with compensation for additional complications.
Oh,
that seems like a fair. Or hey, I get it. You may feel that that's a little high, and you could perhaps take your chances on a crew that will absolutely make a complete mess of this, lose your artifact, pawn it off to somebody else. Any number of things. But you asked for us because we're reliable and we can get this job done for you. So, I mean,
think of it as discretion coverage.
Right, and the discretion too, and so you're paying for our services, and so I mean, like I said, there's of course other people. I know them, and I can guarantee you that this is the best offer you're going to get.
Give me a talk boldly roll.
I feel I now I'm feeling like I should have done up a character sheet for Cersei.
Yes, I didn't realize that. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
realize that
yeah.
you were going to be talking through her the whole time.
Yeah. And she'll disappear as soon as like everything like kicks off here. But like it's just one of those things. Like she just has a big part at the beginning here.
Yeah, you just never know how long that'll take, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Promising
So
like
this
a
is-
fucking mega billionaire.
Yeah. So I'm guessing that the focus here is going to. Well, I've made a success here anyway, but the critical. If I could apply my streetwise focus to this, I think I could generate some momentum here. Because the talk and the boldly is 4 and 4, which is 8. I rolled a 4 and a 19, but I also have a streetwise of 2, which would bring up, the 4 or match the 4 on my dice to. Well, I guess it wouldn't. That would only be a 3. I'm sorry. Never mind. Ignore me.
Would you
so,
allow
yeah.
my my comment about discretion coverage to be an assist?
I would allow that to be an assist.
Okay.
all right. I
So
have
you
negotiate as
you get to
a,
roll 1 die.
Okay.
Yeah, I have negotiate as a focus, so at
So
3, so we might have a better chance of critting. Let's see. Oh well, what's the? Is it still going to be boldly?
I would say
boldly
so.
talk?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 10 for me. I got 15.
Okay. And so, how many did you get total, Caleb?
I got 1 out of 2.
1. Okay.
Well, I got a 4 and a 19, which I assume is 1 success, because my total is 10.
All right. And so you said 450 is what you said?
450, yeah.
Okay. And she'll sort of just sit forward in her chair and sort of like prop her hands on her desk. 350.
And she will lean forward and go 400.
375.
395.
375. Final offer.
Fine. And she says,
Cersei say it like that? Fine.
yeah. And she'll take it and she'll and additional complication fees, of course.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Now that the money has settled, is there anything else any of you need out of me before you go hunting for my package?
Now that I know that this woman is into the occult, is there anything that feels a little weird about this room at all? I'm so nosy. I want to look around this room so hard.
Okay.
I can't walk around the room, so I'm just kind of like trying to. I think Elizabeth is just kind of nonchalantly, like to the side.
All
like
right.
She's now scanning the room. Just
All right. Make me a. I'll say a study quietly roll.
Okay, so study quietly. So 6 and 4. And then please. Am I trying to get under both of my die numbers or the total of those 2 die numbers?
You want the whatever your skill plus your style is, you want to get that number or lower.
Okay. I have 1 success.
1 success.
Yeah.
Okay. You're sort of
I
like
got
looking.
a 5, an 18, and a 19.
Okay. You're looking around and nothing's really like screaming at you, except there's this one painting that is sort of like this sort of like splash of color with these really like long like swirling brush strokes, and it appears to be depicting a like a beautiful woman, almost sort of like reveling in this like energy around her. And it's an extremely like fluid looking piece, almost like the foreground is sort of like merging with the background in a sense. There's just something about it that's really speaking to you.
Is there a way to like walk a little bit closer to the wall of paintings that this specific painting is on, just like normally to like look while they're discussing payment?
Sure.
Okay. She's gonna do that. She's just gonna kind of quietly push herself off like from the wall. And like while Cersei's haggling, she's just gonna kind of take some slow steps to the wall and look at some of the paintings, but her gaze is just gonna keep coming back to this one painting.
Okay.
Does it have like a signature on it anywhere?
There is
Paste it.
there is sort of like a stylized signature, not like in the corner where you would expect, but sort of like almost like work to like into the painting itself.
Okay. And is it too hard to kind of like make out the signature itself, like what
sort of like looking at it, it does take a little like focusing, but you think that it says Delilah.
Okay. I'm imagining that like when she's like piecing that out is about when the haggling kind of comes to the end. So she'll just turn back to the group and say, well, now that that's settled, should we be about it?
Cersei has one more thing that she wants to request, and that is like, do we have a picture of this thing that she wants us to get so that we know we're getting the right thing?
She gives you what appears to be sort of like a sketch of roughly what it looks like.
She'll take that and she will hold it up to Caleb, point to it, and he nods.
Okay.
And of course, if anybody else wants to see it, they can. She'll give it to them.
Pass it around.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any other questions. I guess let's get started.
I agree.
All right. And with that, I think we will end for tonight.
Sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I need to make a sketch on top of this sketch of this item. So we don't all have to share one paper.
Right. Yeah, I'd love to see this rendition of Sort of a Whale.
It's sort of a whale.
Yeah, man,
Sort
what
of a
are we
whale,
finding
but
for
not
you?
quite.
I don't know.
I mean, since we're talking about artwork here, I mean, it could very well be interpreted as something else entirely.
Yeah. Sounds like something I drew.
Well, thank you all.
Thank
And-
you.
no,
That was a lot of
thank
fun.
you. Yes,
It was fun.
and thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everyone who decided to tune in or watches this later.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks, Tom, for handling the production.
Yes. Thank you, Tom, behind the scenes, for being here.
Yeah, and we are going to do 4 episodes.
Yep. This is planned for 4 episodes. So we'll be back again next week, same bat time, same bat channel. And if there's an interest, maybe we'll revisit this again at some point. But for now, we're only doing the 4 episodes.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
Sounds good.
Lois and I will be back tomorrow for some werewolf, and Lois will be back
Indeed.
on Friday with Diver and
Dragon
Well,
Age.
who else is in Dragon Age?
Yeah,
I would say
Dragon Age,
yes. I would say we
yeah.
we got Diver, we got Tiara, and we got Tom in that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the
Terrible
season
things are
finale.
happening.
It's the season finale. You get to play the game.
Yeah, it can only go uphill from here, guys.
That's right.
It can only go uphill.
If you've watched that at all, you know that it can only go
That's a
uphill.
lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Diver's
Hell
character's
no.
life is basically a waking nightmare right now.
Right.
Oh boy.
Thanks again.
Yes, thank
Cool.
you. And I
Good.
hope everyone has a good night.
Yep, and we'll see you next week.